Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's episode of What Every Cruiser Wants. Now, I am going to start off with a question, because I guess I'm just curious in my own mind. If there's something that you don't like about a cruise, something that you wish the cruise line would change, or you're having an issue or a problem and you're hoping that someone can help you solve it, why do you think that rudeness, entitlement, and making demands is the way that you're going to get that change? If you need help solving a problem, why is just being utterly rude and nasty the way that some people believe is how they will get some help? Me personally, I have found that if you are nice to crew members and cruise employees and you have a request and it's something they can actually accommodate, they will bend over backwards to help you. But if you're rude and you're ugly and you're nasty to them about it and you're entitled and you make demands, how hard do you really think they are going to try to help you out? Well, this week I have some examples of people that, in my opinion, they were just rude, nasty, demanding, and entitled for things that they wanted changed on a cruise ship or requests that they had on a cruise ship. But boy, did they really go about it in the wrong way. So let's jump in here into our first comment, and we're going to talk about kids on cruise ships. Now, I understand that sometimes you like to be in a place where maybe there's fewer kids. I understand that there are some venues where kids possibly shouldn't be. Obviously, you don't want kids in the late night R-rated comedy show. There are curfews on board the ship, and there are some places where it says, hey, kids cannot be. And that does include the piano bar. Now, the couple times I've been in the piano bars, they usually have, two parts to the show. They have an earlier part where it's more family friendly, and then there's the adults portion, which is later at night, and they say, hey, you need to take the little ones out of here. But this person believes that kids should never be allowed in the piano bar. So let's take a look. You stated to blank that she could take her teenage kids to the piano bar. I am a member of the Facebook blank page, and all of us think it should be adults only. We do not want children anywhere near the piano bar. Next thing you know, it will end up being like a playground with kids running around. It gets crowded in the piano bar, if there's a good entertainer anyway. So I think it should definitely be over 18 at minimum. You should just one time listen to what the people who pay your wages have to say. So another one that says everyone that she's talked to thinks exactly like she does, that kids should just not be allowed in there at all. And that last sentence, just once, you need to listen to people who pay your wages. And this is what I mean by sometimes people are just rude. They write in the rudest things that they can think of sometimes just because they think that the piano bar should be 18 and over only. The way to get that changed is to say everybody agrees with me, which, they probably don't. Most cases we find out they don't. And then to throw a comment at the end that listen to people who pay your wages. Doesn't that just make you want to bend over backwards to help this individual out? Now, like I said, normally in the piano bar, you have an early show and a later show. The earlier show is family. The later show is when the adult content and the adult material comes out. Been in several different piano bars, and normally that's what the entertainer there says is, hey, we're coming up on the late night adult portion. I highly suggest you take the little ones out of the room. But what do you guys think? Should places like the piano bar be 18 and over only? Should they be adult only? Should kids be allowed nowhere near the piano bar? Like they suggest in this comment. I mean, what's nowhere near? Are they just not allowed on that deck at all? Or if you want to go to a piano bar where there's no kids, maybe picking a cruise line that is adults only, or that will have less children on board, say versus Carnival Cruise Lines, maybe that is the way to go. But you guys let me know what you think about kids in the piano bar. All right, table requests in the main dining room. Now, the easiest way to get a table request if you have, something special that you want, maybe just a table for two, is to go on embarkation day and talk to the maitre d'. If they can accommodate you, if it's something that they can do, that's something that they will do. Now, there, of course, will be instances and cases where they simply cannot meet the request. The dining room is full. They're out of, two top tables. Something like that could prevent your request from going through. But in those cases where maybe, your request cannot be accommodated, is it so bad that it becomes a dramatic event that will absolutely ruin your cruise? Well, this person thinks so. Why are you the only Carnival employee who can take care of dining requests? I was given the Celebrations maitre d' email address from blank, but he has not replied to any of my emails. I have an urgent table for two request. We do not wish to be put at a table with people. That's why we must have a table for two, and not having one would be ruin our cruise. One, the maitre d's, particularly on Carnival Cruise Lines, they're not going to respond to your emails. They don't have time. Per John Heald from Carnival Cruise Lines, he says, look, the maitre d's, they're not answering personal emails or request emails being sent to them, and their email addresses are not supposed to be out there for public consumption. So the best way to take care of a table request is like I said, on embarkation day, go up and speak to the maitre d'. But like I said, if they can't fill your request, is it so bad and you have no other options on the ship, no other places to go eat, that you absolutely must have a table for two, and that it would ruin your cruise if you don't get it? I like a table for two for just me and Tiffany, but if we get seated at another table, I don't have to eat there if I don't want to. I can go eat at a different location. But if I want to eat there and I got to sit at a larger table, well, that's what we got to do. But I've never had it ruin my cruise if the cruise lines doesn't give me what I want. But what do you guys think? If you can't get a specific table request in the main dining room, does it ruin your cruise? Does it make you never want to cruise again? Does it make you want to switch cruise lines? You guys let me know what you think about getting your tables in the main dining room. And finally, our third comment. Now, this third one, it's just wacky. It is utterly wacky. Now, I understand that people have favorite cruise directors. I understand there definitely are people out there that will book a cruise based on who the cruise director is. But cruise directors, they go on vacation. They have other things they may have to do occasionally that takes them off of the cruise ship. And if that happens, is your cruise ruined? Does the cruise line now owe you money because the cruise director you wanted isn't going to be on board the ship? Well, this person thinks that they are owed. I am trying to contact you on Facebook Messenger. Haven't heard back, which is rude. Or the cruise director on the blank read that there is some sort of conference for the cruise directors that will be replaced with someone with no experience. What the blank is this? We booked this cruise 7 months ago. We have 10 of us cruising. Why should we have to pay full price and not get a proper qualified cruise director? Is there going to be compensation? So if you do have a Carnival cruise coming up around the middle of May, yes, they are going to a cruise director conference, which means your favorite cruise director is not going to be on board the ship for that week or so. But my favorite part is the statement where they're going to be replaced by somebody with no experience. Because we all know that, that's how the cruise lines do it. We're going to take your cruise director off, so we're going to take Bob from accounting, and Bob is now going to be the cruise director on the ship. Because that's what cruise lines do, right? They don't have a plan in place. They don't do anything that makes sense. It's not like they're going to take the most senior Fun Squad member who has been training under the cruise director, because of course the next step up for the Fun Squad members are to become cruise directors. So they get trained to eventually become cruise directors. It's not like the senior Fun Squad member is going to take over for while the actual cruise director is gone. Because of course that would make sense, right? In case you didn't catch the sarcasm, that's exactly what's going to happen. The senior Fun Squad member is going to take over as cruise director while the cruise director is off the ship. Now, aside from that, though, it's another comment that is full of rudeness. It'll let you know, I've tried to contact you on Facebook Messenger and you don't answer me, and that's just rude. Well, this comment was to John Heald. Guess what? He doesn't have Facebook Messenger. Doesn't have it, doesn't answer it, and he said on his page tons of times, you cannot private message me. I don't have any of that type of service. So is it actually rude if you're sending something to someone that they don't even have? And of course they want compensation. What are you going to give me? What do we get for being put out? Personally, I'm not exactly sure where you're being put out. You're going to have a cruise director. You're going to have someone that is experienced with those activities and the way things are done on board that ship. Why do you think the cruise line owes you something? But you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. If the cruise director is off in a cruise conference and they're going to have someone else take over, are you entitled to compensation because you booked it 7 months ahead of time and you weren't told about the conference and you're taking 10 people with you? So why should you pay full price and why should you not be compensated? You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments below. And that's going to be our video this week for what every cruiser wants. I said, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really curious. If anybody out there honestly believes that the ruder you are, the nastier you are, and then you ask for something and want something, do you really think that you're gonna get it? Do you really believe that the crew members, the cruise line, or whatever the case may be, even if it's not cruising, the ruder you are, the better that you're gonna get your situation? You know, is that crew member, employee really going to put in the extra effort, bend over backwards because you are rude and nasty, or are they going to do the bare minimum and blow you off as quickly as possible? It's kind of what I think is going to happen, but you guys are going to have to let me know. All right, I hope everyone out there has enjoyed today's video. If you have, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day and a really great weekend. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.